We're going to be talking about laws of the universe today. We're going to get deep today. The word of the day is self-esteem. And self-esteem is basically how much I love myself. When you got stuff to wake up and look forward to, things really start to happen. Your number one problem in your life is yourself. And guess what? You needed to hear that today. You are your biggest problem. And there's something else you need to hear. The world don't owe you nothing. You owe you. Your body been good to you. With all of your mess, with all of your drama, with all of your bad decisions, with all your mistakes, with all your failures. Your body ain't giving up on you yet and is still carrying you around. Self-esteem is called self, not us. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. This got to do with you. Saying of the day, how we think controls how we feel. How we feel controls our performance and our actions. How you think controls how you feel. So if you feel depressed right now, if you feel down right now, if you feel hurt right now, then it's your thinking that's causing it. See, because if I get in a car accident and get whiplash and my neck is hurting and my shoulders are hurting, it's because the accident caused it. I know where to go. I know where to point out the source. But when this is hurting and this is hurting, you the cause. It ain't the world. It's called self-esteem, not us esteem. It ain't got nothing to do with other people, man. You loving you ain't got nothing to do with other people, and you owe you. You owe you. Wake up in your right mind. Wake up with good health. How we think controls how we feel. You want to change how you feel, change how you thinking. You want to feel better, think better. How we think controls how we feel. And the reason why that's so important, how you feel, because how you feel is going to control how you perform and your actions. How you think, if you're thinking poorly, your actions and your performance is going to be poor. You going to a job interview saying to yourself, I'm not going to get the job. Guess what? You probably won't. This talk is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. If you or someone you know needs help, please reach out to a mental health therapist. You ain't never had the laws of the universe broken down to you before. You won't be able to say that after today. The first one is the law of life. The law of life says that everything must serve a purpose or risk being taken out. The law of life says that you have to serve a purpose or risk getting taken out. Everything has to serve a purpose. But it's Jesus in the fig tree. Y'all remember that?
Yes, he cursed it.
Before he cursed it, he looked at it, didn't he? In the distance.
Yes.
And it looked good.
Yes.
He was hungry.
Yes.
And he saw the tree in the distance and it was full and lush. It looked good, but it didn't have nothing to offer. You know how disappointing that had to be? To be hungry and you look like you're going to be able to satisfy me. When I get close to you and I get up on you, you don't have nothing to offer other than looking good. So then he touched the tree and cursed it. Because it says the law of life says that everything must serve a purpose or risk being taken out. Get into a car accident and injure yourself and you can't walk and you don't use your legs for 4 or 5 years. You're going to lose them. You lay in a bed for 3 or 4 or 5 years and you're going to lose your muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. Also, the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect says for every situation, there is a cause. If we don't like the effects of our lives, we have to identify the causes. Once we identify the causes, we have to change them. You got to figure out whatever the effect is in your life that you don't like, what caused it. And when you figure out what caused it, change it. Because to keep doing something and expecting something different is insanity. You have to change to grow. The law of control. The law of control says we feel good about ourselves to the exact degree to which we feel in control of our lives. So the less control you have of your life, the less your self-esteem is going to be. Person goes into the hospital and they're in the hospital. You ever been in the hospital for a while? Don't you start getting depressed? Longer you in there, the more you get depressed. You want to know why you getting depressed? Because you don't have no control over your life. Be dependent on somebody to give you money when you need money, and watch your self-esteem go down. Be dependent on somebody to drive you around every time you got to go somewhere. Your self-esteem is going to go down. Gain control of your life. Learn to do it yourself. Also, we're going to talk about the law of concentration. Check this out. The law of concentration. If we focus on something, we will experience it, good or bad. The law of belief says whatever we believe with feeling, all right? Whatever we believe with feeling, whatever is in our heart becomes our reality. Your beliefs control your realities. The world don't control your reality. Your belief of what the world says controls your reality. Because if Steve Jobs would have believed that, we wouldn't have cell phones and many computers in our pocket. We would still be ordering big computers on the table. Remember that?
Yes. I paid for it for my
Remember that? All that stuff you had to have a modem, had to have a printer, you had cords coming out, everything.
And they were very expensive.
Very expensive.
$3,500.
Now you got more than that in your pocket. The law of expectancy says that we become what we think about. What you get is not necessarily what you want in life, but what you expect in life. What you expect to happen is what's going to happen. So if you expect drama and problems, guess what you're going to get? The law of attraction says that we are human magnets who attract into our lives the people and circumstances that harmonize with our dominant thoughts. The theory that the energy of our thoughts, positive or negative, we back to that, ain't we? Yeah, the theory that the energy of our thoughts, positive or negative, attracts experiences of the same energy to come into our lives. Like somebody got a nephew in Chicago, in gangs, fighting, shooting, probably gonna end up going to prison or jail. Auntie say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you to Ohio. I'm gonna send you to Ohio to be with your uncle. Your uncle a police officer. I'm gonna send you right to Ohio because you need some discipline. She sent him right to Ohio. And guess what? In less than 6 months in Youngstown, Ohio, guess what he finds? Gangs, guns, drugs, and violence, and gets killed in Ohio. We are human magnets. It ain't got nothing to do with your environment. You can relocate and find the same stuff that you was running from. If you don't change yourself.
Wherever you go, take yourself with you.
That's a good one. Wherever you go, you take yourself with you. Like attracts like. You ever heard that? It's true. You ever heard birds of a feather flock together? It's true. The psychology of becoming says that every human being, we talked about this last week if y'all remember. The psychology of becoming says that every human being is in a continual state of becoming. We're always evolving into something. No one stays the same. Nobody. You either going to evolve into something good or something worse. But you're going to always be evolving. You're evolving right now. No one stays the same. We are all changing in the direction of our dominant thoughts and our dominant goals. Becoming is open and unlimited. Becoming is, catch this for a minute, y'all, because I'm going to say something after this. It's going to blow your mind. Becoming is open and unlimited. Remember that. Being is structured and limiting. So as long as if we follow this and if we believe this, you know what this is saying? This is saying that as a human being, you're going to always be becoming something, evolving into something. You can't be a being. You can't say I've already arrived as long as you're still a human being. You can't, because as long as if you're 85 years old, you should still be becoming. If you're 85 years old, there's still something to learn. In other words, in order to be being where I don't have to grow anymore, you have to be God. God is the Omega, the beginning and the end. That's the only one who don't have to grow no more. That's the only thing that's not evolving. It's in place, and you can't get no higher than it. But a human being is becoming, and you ain't going to be a being until you after in transition out of this life. So long as you breathing, no matter what your age, as long as you on this earth and you breathing, you should be learning. You should be becoming. Psychology of becoming says that every human being is in a continual state of becoming. No one stays the same. We are all changing in the direction of our dominant thoughts and goals. Becoming is open and unlimited. Being is structured and limiting. Becoming is a process open to questions and learning, always receptive to new meaning. Thus, we are always becoming. The law of subconscious activity. That's the subconscious that we're going to talk about right now. Because you got your conscious activity, which is right out here, your thinking, and then it's the subconscious activity. That's just your thinking and you don't really notice it. So that's the law of subconscious activity says that whatever the conscious mind believes and accepts, the subconscious goes to work to bring it into reality. It is not what we are that holds us back, but it is what we think we are not that holds us back. When we dwell on the reward, we move toward the reward. And when we dwell on the penalty or the problem, we move toward the penalty and the problem. Any idea or thought that you accept as true in your conscious mind will be accepted without question in your subconscious mind. The law of familiarity, that's a trap. And we all susceptible to that trap. The law of familiarity, because you know what it says about us as human beings? It says that we're fickle. It says that we're superficial human beings. Because it says all of us, once we get used to something, we begin to take it for granted. Because we got it and it's consistent in our lives, and we don't have to question it, we begin to take it for granted. That's what the law of familiarity says, and that is a trap. Because you can be married for 10 or 15 years and you so familiar with your partner or your spouse that you begin to take them for granted. And you say to yourself, you know what, I need me some excitement because this is boring. But it's not boring. It's stable. And you're bored with the stableness of it. I need some excitement. Until you get caught. Now you don't have nothing. The law of familiarity. And once you break up with her and once she leave you, you're going to miss them cooked meals. You're going to miss the back rubs. You're going to miss the good sex that you thought was boring.
Clean clothes.
All of that. All of that. You're going to miss the support, the attention, and the love because they think that the grass is greener on the other side. No, the grass is green where you water it. Also associated, it's another side to the law of familiarity. Also, what the law of familiarity says that as we become friends and the more certain people get to know you, the more they think they can try you now. That's called the law of familiarity also. But we got some people, they think y'all good and they think y'all cool. They start trying you. They start saying stuff just to push that envelope a little bit.
See what that button is.
Yeah, they might call you out your name while y'all laughing. Right, you know what I'm saying? All right, so the law of substitution is the next one, and we're going to be finishing up. The law of substitution. The law of substitution says that the conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time. The law of substitution is intentionally substituting a positive thought for a negative thought. So whenever a negative thought pops into your mind, you substitute that negative thought with a positive thought. That's all we're saying. Once a negative thought, because you're in control. You are in control. Anytime you want. So if you think, if a negative thought keeps popping into your head, then you allow it to. You are allowing it to. Because don't nobody control your brain but you. So either you're going to sit there and entertain that negativity, or you're going to switch it out so you don't feel bad later or angry later or depressed or down later. Which one do you want? That's the question. Whatever you got to think about to not think about something negative, you need to do it. So the law of substitution, the conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time. The law of substitution is intentionally substituting a positive thought for a negative one. The law of balance. The law of balance says the energy that we send out always comes back to us, good or bad. Y'all hear that again? The energy that you send out is like a boomerang. It's coming back to you, good or bad, even if you thought you got away with it. Karma, even if nobody was around, that boomerang coming back. Even if you don't remember what it was, that boomerang coming back, you send that energy out and it's coming back to you. If it's good energy, you got energy that's good coming back. And if there's negative energy, you got negative energy coming back. That's the law of balance. A fear of success is associated with low self-esteem. A fear of success is having a self-defeatist attitude and personality, especially towards positive things. So if you got family and friends that every time something good happens into your life, they want to point out the negativity, they got a fear of success. And it's going to rub off on you. Those are the people who come around and they got a sad story all the time. And they want you to stroke their ego. Or they want you to co-sign their BS. And so you sit there listening the whole time and you got about 4 solutions. You just waiting for an opportunity to drop it on them. So they get through with the sad story. And you know what you can do? You can go to the one place and do and I ain't got a car. I can't go there. Okay, well, there's another place. They pick you up. And I don't have no ID, so I can't go do. They're going to come with a reason why they can't feel better or they can't get out of that situation because they have a self-defeatist attitude. And they're nurturing it. A fear of success. Also, fear of taking risks. A person with a guilty personality has a fear of taking risks or stepping outside of his or her comfort zones. Also, what I want to talk about is homeostasis. I don't know if y'all ever heard that definition before, but homeostasis is a desire to keep things exactly the way they are. It's a fear of change. A person doesn't want to change. They got homeostasis. They want everything to stay exactly the way it is. Comfortable in their own little bubble. Scared to change. That's exactly what it says too. Yep. A fear of change. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what some of that fear be? If I change and I get my stuff together, then I got responsibility. Come on. Come on. If I change and get my stuff together, now I got to be responsible every day. 24 hours a day. I've been irresponsible for the past 15 years. I can't do that. That's a fear of success. You saying that you programming yourself. And you learned that from somebody. That ain't just come out of nowhere. Somebody told you wasn't capable. Psychosclerosis. Psychosclerosis is a hardening of your attitude. A person who's stuck in their ways and they're inflexible. Psychosclerosis is a hardening of your attitude, stuck in your ways, and inflexible. This is just how I am. You ever heard somebody say that? Sensory acuity. Sensory acuity is being cognizant of how our behavior affects others. Self-awareness. Sensory acuity. I'm aware of how my behavior affects other people.
And if you don't want to do what they want to do, they shut down.
Right. Yep. I'm aware of when I walk in the room, and you got to be aware, cognizant, and self-awareness of yourself and how you affect people. If you got like 6 employees at your job that say that you mean and hard to work with, it's probably you, and you probably not aware of yourself. Because when you got 6 or 7 people saying the same thing about you, it's probably not a conspiracy at this point. Yeah, you got to look in the mirror. Yeah, you might be sabotaging yourself. And also, we're going to talk about selective perception. That's also associated with low self-esteem. Selective perception is when the mind edits and refuses to allow any evidence contrary to what we already believe. Because sometimes we see what we want to see. That was right on time? Mm-hmm.
But I was stressing about family and all that. They said about the same thing you was telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, what you saying? She was telling me the same thing, but in a different way. When I came in, I was like, man, it's confirmation to what she was saying.
Yeah.
You know, but I've been in the hospital twice because I was so stressed about what everybody else was doing, and I put myself in, giving myself to them. You know, so.
And that was affecting your health.
It was affecting my health. It was affecting my health. You know, but then, like I say, I gave everything away, you know, lost concentration, lost belief, all of it. I was like, man, you know, I'm sitting here, so I moved up the wheel. Hit me upside the head.
In a good way. I hit him upside the head in a good way, y'all. Don't take that wrong.
Yeah. Now I know, you know, now with this, I can take it and say, okay, wait a minute. I look at it and say, okay, now I know, you know, it's the law of belief.
Yeah, man.
You know?
All of everybody.
Yeah.
That's where it starts at, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I don't have nobody who believe in me, if I don't have nobody who got faith in me, if I don't have nobody who encourage me, I do enough of that for myself. I'm telling you, bro, I'm a self-starter. I got my own, man, look, if nobody come up to me and say, Will, you doing a real good job, I tell Will that all the time. And I let me know when I'm falling short too. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll let myself know when I'm falling short, when I'm disappointed in myself. I'm not gonna beat up on myself, but I'm gonna let myself know, look, you need to step it up. Yeah, you step your game up. But at the same time, if nobody tells me I'm doing a good job, I'm gonna do it for myself. Because I love me. Man, I love me. And like we said, that's what self-esteem is all about. When you love yourself, you treat yourself like you love yourself. You see people be posting all the time, some stuff like, family don't support you, people don't support you when you're trying to start a business, and they don't share your stuff, they don't buy your product, they don't do that. Man, I don't need nobody to do none of that for me. God got me. God got me, and I'm cool with whatever He give me. In my life, I ain't never been let down. If any letdowns came in my life, it was from me. I let myself down countless times. Yeah, I'm glad you came today too, man. All right, y'all. If there's no more questions, concerns, or comments, man, I'm going to cut y'all loose.